Hello everyone, welcome to the Practice and Master Excel YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be walking through text functions using practical examples. So we have we have some data here. We have customer name, ID, the delivery address, the website. So we'll then use text functions to get the street number, postcode, ID, street, customer initials, and the domain. The link to this file will be in the description box, so feel free to download the file, practice whenever you feel like. There would also be a link to the solutions file as well. The focus of today's video would be on these text functions. So let's get right into the video. So we're going to be starting with the street number. The street number is contained in the delivery address column. It's the first 3 digits of the delivery address, and as you can see, it's pretty consistent across all rows. Each street numbers have 3 digits. So for this, we're going to use the left function. This is because the left function extracts characters from the start of a text or a number. So we build our formula equal to left. We select the text, which is the delivery address, comma, number of characters. So since the street number is the first 3 digits, so we only need to extract the 3 digits. So our number of characters will be 3, and then we drag that down all the way, and we get the street number in this case. So the next one is the postcode. The postcode is also contained in the delivery address column, and it is the last 5 letters in the delivery address column, right? In this case, we're going to use the right function. This is because the right function extracts letters from the end of a text or the end of a number. So in this case, we want to extract the last 5 letters from the end of each text. So we build the function equal to right. Select the text, comma, number of characters. It's the last 5 characters, so our number of characters would be 5. Close the bracket, press enter. Then we drag down the formula so that we can get the values for the rest of the rows. So next, we want to get the ID, the prefix, which is basically every text or number that is before the dash symbol. So in this case is SBB, in this case is ACON, in this case is DSDA. So we could have used the left function alone, but the problem is that we want to build a dynamic formula that would accommodate all of these rows, but the characters before the dash symbol, the number of characters before the dash symbol differs for each of these texts. So we have to use left and search together. So search would find the position of the dash. The search function will find the position of the dash, and then the left function will then return everything that is before the dash. So let's build the formula starting with the search symbol. So equal to search, find text. We're looking for the dash within this text, comma, starting from the first position, enter. So we have 4. 4 is the fourth character, meaning that the dash is the fourth character. So if I drag this down, it will be the same thing. It has gotten the position of the dash characters for all the text. So now let's return everything that is before the dash character. So in this case, if we use the left symbol to return everything that is before the dash character. It's SBB. So in this case, we're still getting the dash. This is because our search function also includes the dash. So if we do a -1 on the search function, that would remove the dash keyword and we'll only get everything that is before the dash. So dragging it down, this gives us what we're looking for. Next, we want to get the ID, the suffix. This is basically everything that is after the dash symbol. So basically the numbers here we have only numbers after the dash symbol. So we want to get all those numbers that are after the dash symbol. So what we'll do in this case is to search for the dash and then return everything that is after the dash. But in this case, we would be using the mid function to return everything that is after the dash because we're starting from within the text and going down to the end of the text or to a specific number. But in our case, we're just going down to the end of the text. So we'll build the function. Let's start with the search function like we did before. So we're searching for the dash within this text, starting from the first instance, gives us the position of the dash. Yes, that works. Then we use the mid function, mid of this text, comma, starting from the position of the dash, right? Comma, number of characters. We want everything down to the end, and they don't have like all the rows don't have the same number of characters. So we can just use like an imaginary number. It doesn't matter. We just want everything all the way down to the end. So we still have the dash here, and this is because our search function also considers the position of the dash. So if we put +1, that would remove the dash from what we have, and then we drag it down, we get what we need. So next we want to extract the street from the address column. So in this case, this is the address column and everything before the first comma is the street. So for this row, the street is 245 ELM Street. And for this row, the street is 786 Maple Avenue. So in this case, we'll use the left and search function. So this is going to be similar to this, where we would search for the comma and then we would return everything that is before the comma. So if we start with the search function, find text is comma within this text, and we're starting from the first character. So drag it all the way down. So this 11 basically means that the position of the comma in this case is 11. So the comma is the 11th character. So I want to return everything that is before the 11th character. So we'll use the left function to do this. So equal to left the text, comma, the search function, enter. So like we said earlier, this search function also contains the comma. So we do a -1 to remove the comma, and we only have everything that is before the comma, which is the street that we want to get. Next, we want to get the customer's initials from the customer name. So the initials is basically the first letter of the first name and the first letter of the last name. So in this case, it will be AT. So as usual, we want to get one formula that can work for all of the records in the column. So getting the initials of the first name is easy because we only need to use the left function and extract the first character, which is just one character, right? So B5, 1 A. So if I drag this down, you can see that it's easier to extract the initials of the first name. Now to extract the initials of the second name, we'll need to use the mid and search function. So how this would happen is that we will search for the space. We'll search for the space and then we'll then use the mid function to return T. So to return one letter after the space. That's what we're trying to do. So I would concatenate this and then build the function. So equal to, I always like to start with search. So search for the space within this text, comma, start from the first character, then we add the mid function, so which is mid of this text, comma, start number. This is the start number. So the start number here is basically the position of the space, but we don't want the position of the space, else we're going to get that in our initials. So we want the position after the space, so we need to add a +1 to this. Number of characters is just 1, so basically one letter, which would be the first letter of the last name. So if we press enter, we have, yes, we have the initials of the customer names, as we can see. So for the domain is the characters or the text between at and slash, and it's pretty consistent all across. So it's just the text here between the at symbol and the slash symbol. So I'll give this to you as an assignment. I'll put in the formula for the domain in the file, which will be linked in the description box below. So you can download the file and check out the formula. We've come to the end of today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe if this was useful for you. Thank you.